Hi, I'm Britt Hensley. I am the Director of Theater at East Paulding High School. Picking a show, I always have to think about whether or not it's going to fit what kids that I have, what budget I'm working with. We went to go see it as a troupe last year, and everybody loved it. When the show was done, they were like, "Oh my God, that was so funny. Can we do that next year?" When I was looking at choices, it just happened to fit. This show gave me opportunity to showcase the talent in this company, but also challenge them. And what a great way to do it with a show that is all about theater people. Show people! I love the main character. I love that he's an ordinary guy. He does a little bit of community theater. He's not a typical theater person. Having him intertwine with all of these theater people who have been doing it for so long and know the business, and he has an opportunity that almost every audience member would want, where they get to see how it's put on in the inner workings. And with that, he reminds them of how important their job is with storytelling, and reminds them to keep pushing through. That's one of the things I like most about Curtains. It shows how important the work of theater people and storytelling can be for one person. My artistic vision with this show has to do with the story of it. It's big and bright. I want the audience to walk away with the same feeling that Chaffee would walk away with in a show, like understanding the ins and outs of putting together the show and having an appreciation for that. Since I have been here I've gotten more and more people on my creative team. They do not get paid. They just help out because they see the talent and like the rigor of shows, and they know how impressive it is for the community. They're pitching in because it represents our school in such a positive way. I have Miss Lockhorst, who is our course teacher. She will help out with sound engineering or just sound production and running it through the show. And then we have Mr. Robichaux, who is one of our band people, and he will come in and help us with balancing all of our sound levels. Then I have Miss Hamilton, who's one of our ESEP teachers, and Miss Cox, who is an art teacher. They kind of see what I'm going for artistically.
I've always enjoyed art. With my students, I run a school store where we make crafts. We actually have a collaboration with the theater program to help make them some signs for set pieces and whatnot.
I've always been interested in theater. My friends were all theater kids in high school, and
Same.
Yeah, I wanted to help with theater. I knew that I could contribute my artistic talent to like backdrops and set pieces and whatnot.
If I notice something about the actual show itself and I have an opinion, I'll voice it. I just kind of lend a hand wherever I can.
As a educational theater director, if your program doesn't have the budget for multiple teachers, then it's all on you. I put a lot of the responsibility on them. What they put into it is what they're going to get out of it. If I need to bring down the hammer, I can do that, but I don't like to do that because theater is a collaborative art. And I think my students are so funny and so talented, and they're why I come to work. So I want this experience for them to be something that they've contributed to. And it's not just the performance that they're proud of, but it's all of it.
My name's Emily Solomon.
I'm Hallie Wade.
I'm Blake Bowman.
And we're the choreographers.
Me and my sister used to dance all the time in the kitchen. We watched a lot of Dance with the Stars.
Oh, yes!
So we always want to be there. Started choreography here my freshman year, and I just grown and done a lot more here.
I've danced since I was 4. I started doing ballet, and then I got into hip-hop, and then just did everything from when I was 5 to 16.
I was like Blake. I danced around the kitchen, living room, whatever, when I was little, especially to Taylor Swift.
Me too. Our creative vision is to make it look like there's one unit on stage rather than a bunch of individual dancers. They're a musical inside a musical, so you want them to look like they've been working together, like they know each other, they trust each other, and I think that when we all come together and choreograph it, I think we trust each other as well. I think we all have very different ideas, but I think that's also helpful because we can pull different things from each person to see what works best.
There's always going to be challenges with trying to work with a big group, especially trying to perfect. And once we do teach it to them, we do a lot of perfecting before we move on. That's the good part about having all 3 choreographers is we'll split up groups and we'll each focus on a group to do a lot of one-on-one and just really showing them what we expect and how we want this to look.
It's very chaotic, but it's very fun. I love it.
Altos. There's basses.
Hi, my name is Ginger Corley, and I'm the musical director. I retired in 2021 after 30 years as a high school choral director. To prepare for a rehearsal, I always look at the music and try to find potential trouble spots. Depending on the voices that we have, see if I need to make any modifications. A lot of times we'll just run a number and see how it goes first, do some sectional rehearsals, and then put it all together. The biggest challenge is that I'm only here for one class period a week. So the students really have to practice at home, and they've done a great job of doing that. I'd like to say that there's great leadership here at East Paulding. The student leaders are great.
So it's really the whole village of teachers and me and the students coming together to put together these productions. So I did buy set pieces for this show from another school. Costumes. Luckily, we just did Oklahoma, so I can pull a lot of what we had for that show because Robin Hood is the same, cut from the same cloth as Oklahoma. The rest of it is based off of what we have, what the students may have, and then what other directors in the county can. We all work together and share set pieces, costume pieces, props, and stuff like that. Because we're all kind of in the same boat.
We're in the same boat.
Okay, developing characters. So with developing leads, featured ensemble, I base it off of what I envision, but also what they give in auditions and callbacks. It's put on the kids of what do we want this character to be. They have to put in the homework and talking with them, okay, I see this character this way. How do you interpret this? And then collaborating with them as we do with everything else.